A president doesn't cry on camera, but when they told Trump that Charlie Kirk was dead, something broke. What do you mean dead? That's what he asked. Then he ordered everyone out of the room. Just like that, get out. The man who stared down world leaders couldn't face this news with an audience. His wife spoke to Kirk's widow, devastation mixed with determination to keep the movement alive. Don Jr. held back tears, remembering how Charlie Kirk became like a brother. Thousands gather in London. The Yankees pause their game. An empty chair that will never be filled. This isn't about losing a conservative voice. This is about what happens next. So keep on watching. Now, before we jump into today's news, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Hyperbit Technologies, trading under HYPAF on the U.S. market. As President Trump puts a spotlight on crypto and pushes forward policies to keep America ahead in the digital asset race, Hyperbit is charging ahead with next-generation crypto mining technology, expanding on their multi-million crypto treasury that already includes Bitcoin and Ethereum, and aiming to position itself to benefit from pro-innovation laws and executive orders. This is a complete diversified company that gives you one-stop exposure to the entire crypto sector without having to pick and choose individual projects. Now, I could talk about Hyperbit all day, but Trump's bold pro-crypto stance says it all. For everything you need to know, check out the link in the description, hyperbit.ca. They make this show possible. We thank them. Well, we are all Charlie Kirk now. This is clearly an AI-generated image, but the message remains the same. An army of young people all wearing a shirt, "We are Charlie Kirk now." And that's the truth. We are all Charlie Kirk. And I frantically today was looking for a video that I had recorded many years ago. There it is. Rare footage. The day Bill Montgomery told 18-year-old Charlie Kirk, "You can't go to college," and changed America forever. Recorded outside Trump Tower in 2019, Bill reveals how 400 sleeping students woke up in 20 seconds when Charlie spoke. They started in a two-car garage, built a movement that reached millions. Now they're both gone. Bill died in 2020 because of complications from COVID, and Charlie, of course, was assassinated on Wednesday. Here's a brief reflection on the origin story of Charlie Kirk.
Interesting. What you guys don't know is this is Bill Montgomery. You guys know Turning Point? I know you guys know Turning Point. They're doing remarkable work out there on the campuses. This guy is the co-founder. Co-founder, right?
Co-founder.
Wow.
So I met him when he was 18 years old.
Who, Charlie?
Charlie.
Yeah.
He was speaking at Benedictine University, and there was a demonstration put on by the former Attorney General of Illinois to demonstrate to 400 high school students the difference between Tea Party people and Occupy Wall Street people. And what was interesting, they put on mock demonstrations, had 3 speakers from each group speak, and really interesting, the kids were bored silly. So, as the 7th speaker was walking up to the podium, I looked at the clock and I said, I hope it isn't going to be a long speech. I turned around and I watched 400 kids going from falling to sleep to wide awake. And so afterwards, I looked at the clock, not afterwards, but I looked at the clock, and it was only about 20 seconds it took for him to make these kids wide awake. I was so impressed with his message and the way he did it that I went down to him afterwards and I said, "Charlie Kirk, you don't know me, but you can't go to college." He was 18 years old. He was going to go to Baylor. I said, "You've got to start an organization to reach out to young people in this country."
Yep.
And for the next 2.5 years, he and I traveled all over the country. And because he was 18, couldn't rent a car, couldn't get into a hotel.
Yeah.
And after 2.5 years, my wife said to me, "Well, I got my husband back." But it was the most fun and exciting time of my life to know that this country was going to be saved.
Well, what's exciting too about Turning Point is that, I'm local. I'm a local guy, Chicago guy, and you guys started in Lamont, so I have family ties in Lamont. So, and to know the impact you're having is a testimony to the impact that you guys started in a small house. And
a two-car garage.
A two-car garage.
Right.
That's the American. That's
right.
the American story. you have a dream, you get something done, and now you guys are reaching millions and millions of people. And you're having a massive impact on the youth of America, and that's what matters. And we just saw the president speak. It was an amazing speech, so much to digest. I'm still trying to process it all, but there will be more. So.
There will be. It's an exciting time, and we are going to turn Illinois red.
Amen. You heard it here first, folks. Bill Montgomery passed away July 28th.
What you guys don't know is
2020. And I had a rare opportunity to sit down with him several times, have lunch. And I was actually working with him. And then COVID hit and he passed away. And I was never able to continue the work that we had began after I met him. Apparently he saw something in me too. Well, here we are, millions of subscribers later. 4 hours ago, Rapid Response 47 posted this. This week hit hard, Patriots, but Charlie Kirk's fight for America lives on in us. We will rise fiercer than ever for America first. God bless you and God bless America. Have a great weekend. Ivanka Trump making a rare media appearance. We have not heard from her in quite some time. Of course, reflecting on Charlie. Let's listen.
And it's unconscionable. I mean, what transpired and very personal. I've known Charlie for approaching a decade now, and he was a good man, highly principled, and he was a champion for debate and dialogue and free speech, the cornerstone of democracy. And he was silenced for being so persuasive, ultimately. And I think he represents the kind of politics we should aspire to, where you're not afraid of people who disagree with you. In fact, you welcome them into conversation and debate. And you're not afraid to have your opinions changed when a better argument is put to you. Once we stop talking to one another, it all breaks down. And once we're afraid of somebody's ability to speak, and Charlie was one of the best. I mean, his tongue, his brain, that was his sword. So it's heartbreaking, and obviously, like the rest of this country, right. My heart is with his beloved wife Erica. He loved her so much, and his beautiful children. So right. It's unconscionable.
Unconscionable, indeed. This was the scene outside of Turning Point's headquarters. A young man arrives at Turning Point USA headquarters playing the bagpipes at the memorial. Man, those bagpipes will get you every single time. Every single time. Where do we go from here? Here's a Florida sheriff gaining national attention for personally going to a Charlie Kirk candlelight vigil in Southwest Florida to protect his residents who are mourning the loss of Charlie. Carmine Marceno.
Republican. I'm very thankful for my family members as you look around, because peacefully gathering and safety and security is number one. I sit back and think about yesterday's events, and it sickens me. It sickens me. This is not about what party you are for. This is not about being a Republican, a Democrat. This is about being a human being. This is about a life, human life, and how much evil there is in the world that we combat every single day. There's no place and no room for that violence, not in politics, not in anywhere. I sit here with a heavy heart, I look around and I say, you know what? I'm so blessed to be with so many amazing people that get together, especially, today being 9/11, and I'm from New York, and losing so many of my friends in 9/11. So today I sit back and think about a lot of things, and I think about the people that lost their lives tragically in 9/11. I think about the incomprehensible, whose family watched. It's just unbelievable to me. So I want you to know you're going to be safe when you're in Lee County, Florida. I will be here every step of the way with you. My family members, you are all part of the family. And America is great because we can say what we want to say, and the freedom of speech and freedom, and no coward or suspect or someone that's evil is going to stop us from gathering and celebrating a tragic loss of life. So today we come together with heavy hearts, but we move forward together stronger than ever, with thoughts and prayers for those who paid the sacrifice, who got out there and made such a difference for our great president. And someone, every day when you listen to Charlie go out there, it wasn't arguing, it was conversation. And if you disagreed, then let's talk about it. That's what makes this the best country in the world. Disagreeing and professionally moving forward. And again, my thoughts and prayers are with every single one of you. We're in the most difficult, tragic times of our lives, but I know with confidence we are going to move forward and be better than ever. So God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you all for being here tonight.
James was posting just an hour ago, when will Antifa be designated the domestic terror organization that it is? And when will RICO charges be brought against the man behind the curtain who funds the hate? Ivanka Kirk speaking just a few moments ago. This is the moment that hit me.
Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget." And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus. Gigi, our daughter.
He's on a work trip with Jesus. And James Woods also posting this 2 hours ago, calling Chuck Schumer a fork-tongued, hypocritical scum. They have no shame, he writes.
And coming together. Well, look.
The question was, what's your reaction to President Trump blaming the radical left?
The bottom line is this is a time that all Americans should come together and feel and mourn what happened. Violence, which affects so many different people of so many different political persuasions, is an affliction of America. And coming together is what we ought to be doing, not pointing fingers of blame.
This moment requires leadership that brings the American people together as opposed to trying to further divide us. Political violence in any form against any American is unacceptable, should be denounced by everyone, and moving forward, we have to figure out a better way to come together, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans.
Yeah, I don't believe a word they're saying at all. It's because it's their rhetoric that has given birth to this. Here we have, based in Portland, Charlie, we can't sleep. We got this from here. Two women wearing shirts that were reminiscent of what Charlie was wearing, holding a Bible in front of a cross. Christ is King. Amen. Here's the Polish Parliament holding a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk.
Honorowi rozmowy. To, że możliwe jest debatowanie z tymi, którzy się czasami nie zgadzają.
Właśnie czcimy w polskim Sejmie pamięć o Charlie Kirku, konserwatyście chrześcijaninie zamordowanym w Stanach Zjednoczonych.
Go zaatakował, zastrzelił, pozbawił życia, osierocił dwójkę malutkich dzieci. Powiedzmy nie, wyraźmy nasz sprzeciw wobec tej politycznej nienawiści. Uczcijmy jego pamięć chwilą ciszy.
Wieczną pożegnać Panie,
a światłość wiekuista niech nam świeci.
i odpoczywa w pokoju wiecznym.
Amen. Uczciliśmy pamięć w polskim Sejmie świętej pamięci.
Wow. And if you recall, the EU Parliament decided they wouldn't do anything. Oh, did you hear about this? You know, these vigils are happening all over the country, all over the world. Michigan Forward posting this 3 hours ago. A team member ordered and paid for a poster to be printed at Office Depot so we could bring it to a vigil for Charlie Kirk in Michigan tonight. When he arrived to pick it up 4 hours later, the employee said they refused to print it, calling their poster propaganda.
Propaganda, unfortunately.
Thank you. So, we came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yeah, so
for somebody that passed.
propaganda.
It's not
It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't put that here.
Alrighty. So, what's your name?
Farrell. I'm print supervisor.
I'm one of the managers.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, we do
So
not
they
print-
say they don't print
we don't
political
print-
propaganda. So this is somebody that passed away a couple years
That's
ago. from
political
Ebola.
propaganda, unfortunately. I'm
So
sorry.
this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil?
It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
I printed
What makes it propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to. Yeah.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you
No,
want
it's
to speak
totally
further
okay.
on
Our
the
manager's
subject,
gonna be in on Monday.
You are welcome to return.
Thank you. So we came in for an order earlier to print a...
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Here's a moment. Crowds break into Amazing Grace in central London in honor of Charlie Kirk. Scenes like this all over the world. This was yesterday. I thought this was a beautiful moment.
South 1555 Phoenix Center, wind 2409, runway 26 to the left. Clear 126, Southwest 1555.
Welcome home, Charlie. You didn't deserve it. May God bless your family.
His casket in Air Force Two, taxiing, and air traffic controllers welcoming him home. Another beautiful moment. So many of these types of moments, like here. Look at this. The aftermath of George Floyd versus Charlie Kirk. That is just one of the many scenes we saw unfold after George Floyd's death. And here is a scene after Charlie Kirk's assassination. One, a scene of chaos, destruction, and fire. The other one, acts of solidarity and candles in silent memory. Yes, we are not the same. Country rock singer Hardy gave a shout out to Charlie Kirk at his concert and thanked him for everything he did for our country.
A lot of what life is. Obviously, yesterday we saw a very tragic loss, what I consider an extremely tragic loss, because we have somebody that is exercising a lot of their human rights, also known as freedom of speech, who got brutally murdered in front of 10,000 people. And I think it's fucking bullshit, and I think our country's in a fucking mess. So I want to thank Charlie Kirk for his service and everything that he did as a human being.
Charlie Kirk getting shout-outs from the stage. Here's another scene from London. Gunter Eagleman writing, his reach knows no bounds. Thousands have gathered in London at a vigil for Charlie. There's no understanding how influential this man was in his short time on this earth. In London, another scene. Here's Texas A&M last night. Thousands gathering. Candlelight vigil for Charlie. Here's President Trump recounting the moment that he learned of Charlie Kirk's passing.
White House, right? When I heard it, I was in the midst of, building a great, for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House, right? They don't have a ballroom. They have to use tents on the lawn for President Xi when he comes over. If it rains, it's a wipeout. And so I was with the architects and with design. It's going to be incredible. And they came in, they said, Charlie Kirk is dead. I didn't know what they meant. I said, what do you mean dead? Charlie Kirk was shot. And they thought he was dead because it was so horrific, And I said, dead? And it was like, I just told these people, get out, just go, this is the worst thing. This was so bad for our country. When I heard it, I was in the midst of, building a great...
President Trump couldn't even see it. Couldn't even be in front of those people when he learned. Of course, we heard people talking about what happened at TMZ, laughing, and they've come out and said they weren't laughing, but this person spent all day exposing TMZ, declaring they were 100% cheering at the news Charlie Kirk had been assassinated.
Exhibit C. Oh, I don't need TMZ's cameras. There's nothing I love more than a good investigation, and I'm coming to you guys with the receipts. Exhibit A, the alleged car chase that they were watching.
Right there on the banner below, you can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely about to have with ABC News.
Exhibit B, the giant clocks around their office. Exhibit C, don't worry, you won't have to do the math because I've done it for you. Timestamp, time. It is 1:07 and 15 seconds in the afternoon, with the timestamp on their video of 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 5 seconds.
For 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific.
Exhibit D, we have the cheering starting at exactly 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 15 second mark, which is a difference of 35 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you take the timestamp plus the clock saying it was 1:07 and 15 seconds, add 35 minutes and 15 seconds, what time would you have? 1:43. So they technically were watching a car chase video. What do you think they were cheering for?
People in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing, They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would not work here if they did.
Oh, I don't need TMZ's cameras. There's
Nothing to cheer about. Nothing to cheer about at all. Donald Trump Jr. holding back tears with Megyn Kelly.
Mentioned that this morning in a 9/11 Let me ask you about your dad, because he said he's going to speak with, I think, the family, Eric, I think, later today. He's mentioned that this morning in a 9/11 remembrance event, and also announced that he's going to award Charlie the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously. He also ordered the staff, the flags to go at half staff, which is very unusual for a private citizen. Can you talk about what Charlie meant to your dad?
A lot. I mean, I think, Charlie single-handedly, other than my father, I guess, would have been the single-handed most important player of the last election cycle, and probably, frankly, 2020 as well. I mean, the gains were being made, but I mean, I think he single-handedly won Arizona for us, probably Michigan, probably Wisconsin as well. Moved, the youth vote 20 plus points. And again, that's not just youth vote to 18-year-olds. This is the 18 to 29 people who could actually vote. So significantly. I mean, especially the male. I mean, the male vote, like a 40-point swing towards common sense and American values and decency. And what were the things that they hated Charlie for speaking about? I mean, for loving God, your country. As you pointed out in your monologue, sort of, men can't be women. I mean, this isn't exactly rocket science or anything that's all that controversial. He was just willing to say those things that were verboten for so many people for so long. He made it okay for them. So for my father, he meant a lot. I spoke to I don't know for sure, but I think, sort of unbeknownst to me, I think, my father was calling me, and I had just heard, from Charlie's team that was on the ground when it passed. So I think he may have heard it directly, sort of from me first. And he called me back later on that evening, and we're just, talking about it and how much he meant to my father and how good a fighter he was. And my father truly recognized his genius and his excellence, his work ethic, everything. It was amazing.
Let me ask you about your dad, because he said he's going to...
Well, these scenes we were watching across the world unfold are going to be repeated. We are all Charlie Kirk.
Oh. They wanted to silence him because they couldn't win in the battlefield of ideas. We're all Charlie Kirk now.
I am Charlie Kirk.
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 We are Charlie. I am Charlie.
I am Charlie Kirk.
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 I'm Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
Rest in peace, Charlie. We'll take it from here.
And I am Charlie Kirk. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what real leadership looks like in the face of tragedy. Trump didn't hide his grief. He showed America that Charlie Kirk mattered. When a president calls someone like a son, when Don Jr. can't hold back tears, when thousands cross an ocean to mourn. That's not politics, that's love. That's impact. Charlie touched millions of young lives, led them to faith, and gave them purpose. The left celebrates his death, while children who saw him as a father figure wept. Big tech censored those, exposing the grave dancers while letting the hate flow freely. A Secret Service agent blaming Charlie for his own murder and not only got suspended, but fired. This is the moral rot that we're facing. So here's my question. Should government employees who celebrate political assassinations be permanently banned from public service? Drop a yes or a no. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to support our mission here, you can go to our merch shop at Get some Next News gear linked in the description. Stand proud and stand strong.